Morning there, ladies and germs. Well, we've got another low quality, low view, low production, low everything video for you today. So we're working on the Explorer once again, and this is going to be an interesting topic to some of you that have experienced this. This damage was done before we got this car, and what we're going to go over today is dealership damage. Well, anybody could do it, but this is predominantly about dealerships lifting these cars with two-post lifts incorrectly and how to fix it. Apologize for the tool salad, but anyways, let's go over to the other side of the car so I can show you what I'm talking about. This happens a lot on 2020 and up Explorers. So they try and lift them by the pinch seams, which is fine, but as you can see right here, there is a tab on the pinch seam and the plastic molding, which has been completely folded over by the lifting puck from the two-post lift. You're supposed to, like, your factory jack for your spare tire or your lifting point is right here on the pinch seam between these two arrows. Now, does this destroy the car or ruin it or anything like that? No, but it doesn't mean that it's right either. So I'm going to show you how I fix this and then make it so it doesn't, well, I can't say make it so it doesn't happen again, but it in theory should point to say, hey, use this instead of lifting right here on this tab. So they make these pinch seam adapters. You can get them on Amazon. They're relatively inexpensive. And basically what this is a jack pad or a jacking puck that has set screws in it. And this you put up onto your pinch seam. You'd slip it up on there and then tighten these set screws down and it locks it on there. And now you have a convenient place where you can either put your two-post lift arms or your floor jack to jack this thing up when you're not using the factory jack. Now, to make this even more complicated, I sometimes lift the Explorer with my old 5000 TL quick jacks. The quick jacks, this particular model of quick jacks has a limited amount of range that you can lift from. The very widest point, center to center, is 55.5 inches. 55.5 inches doesn't jive with the OEM pinch seam points. So I've had to overcome and adapt. Now, if you have one of the bigger, newer sets of quick jacks, it doesn't matter because they have a longer footprint. This is what that tab looks like when it's straightened out, bent back down. The plastic is bent back down. And then here you can see that I've added the jack pad in there. In order to do that, I had to trim out some of the plastic for this to fit. Using your handy dandy Dremel device. This isn't necessarily the appropriate bit you would use for doing this job, but it works. And so now you can see I have a jack pad here. And most importantly, I still have the factory space for the factory jack at both ends, which is very important. Okay, so here's our new jack pad. I just trimmed out the plastic a little bit, and then we can still use our jack at either end of the car, either corner. So let me get all this mess picked up and moved over to the other side of the car, and I'll show you how we put those jack pads in and also how we straighten out that bent sheet metal. It's pretty easy. Alright, so we're going to start out on the front of the car because it's easiest. Now, regardless of your quick jack situation, you got to trim a little bit of plastic if you're going to use this jack pad so that there's enough room right here to use your factory jack in case you get a flat tire. So we're going to take half of the arrow off is the amount. This car is lowered, so it's kind of tight under here. Okay, that's how big of a piece we took out of there. There we go. Perfect. Try not to tear the paint up on the body too much. You'll lose your corrosion resistance. Especially if you live in the Rust Belt. We don't really have rusty cars around here. Okay, so we're gonna put some Loctite on here. Loctite's probably not necessary, but I don't want these going anywhere. I'm gonna thread these through until they're sticking through about like that. So basically I run the set screws in until you can barely slip this onto the pinch weld. That's less cranking you gotta do underneath the car. Now when I go to tighten these up, I am going to tighten these set screws basically to the point where it feels like it's about ready to strip out. It's righty tighty, lefty loosey, but backwards. Come on. It's pretty tight. Okay. Front's done. Oh, now we'll go to the back. All right, let's see if we can unmake a mess out of this pinch seam here. That's quite a bit better already. I honestly don't have any idea what this little flap of sheet metal is for. I'm assuming it's some kind of assembly line piece, maybe. Okay. And the plastic will just kind of relax itself. All right. So now I'm going to take my vice grips and smash this part of the pinch seam back. Do what?
Right out here.
It is bright and toasty. Oh, come on. Get this plastic pulled back out of the way a little bit so I can get my pliers up in there. Yeah, this side was smushed pretty good. Maybe even a little bit worse than the other side. That's a lot better. I know it's probably difficult to see. My camera location is less than ideal. That won't do nothing for you. Now we got to do some more plastic trimming, some more Dremel work. I'm going to cut this off right here and then notch this piece of plastic for the jack pad to go into. Boy, they warped this piece of the plastic too. But hopefully now that it's got a place to relax to, it'll kind of take its shape a little bit more. So this is the piece that I removed. You likely won't have to remove that much if you're just trying to leave enough space for your factory jack, but I'm having to remove this much plastic so that I can use my quick jacks. But we're ready to bolt this on and jack it up. The rear screws are going to feel a little bit spongy because it's bending pinch seam back together. There we go. It's my first day running an Allen wrench. Damn it, Allen. All right, let's go get the Big Mama floor jack and test this out. All right, so you can see we're squarely on the jack pad. Let's go ahead and put some weight on her. I'm not gonna get under there, so no need to be screaming about jack stands. That looks about as solid as you can get. I don't see anything flexing or distorting. Sweet. All right, let's go jack the front once just for the fun of it. I think we're gonna call this a successful repair. Okay, we're off the ground. Everything looks good. I don't see any distortion. So I'm confident that I can use this for regular floor jack detail and also on the quick jacks. Very nice. So that's what that looks bent back. I'd like to get this piece of plastic back down a little bit further, but beggars can't be choosers, as they say. So that's all I've got on this here particular video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you've experienced this lift damage before, put it down in the comments below. I'd like to hear about it. But on that note, stay tuned for more content. There will be more Explorer videos, more Corvette videos, more Ranger videos, more F-150 videos, and more Camaro videos.